Season 4 of Stranger Things is completely out and it's awesome. But did this season just make Stranger Things from a great show to an all-time great show? I think it did, and for 3 main reasons. In this video, we're going to be going over those. And before we get started, spoiler warning if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? You're like days behind. Like maybe even a week behind now. So go watch it, come back, and let's get started. Like I said, Stranger Things has been a great show for years now. It's had some really strong seasons and a really strong story. But this season's been different. Not only because it's been years since we've gotten more content for Stranger Things, but this season, it was big and it was just full of such good content. The characters were great. The look was great. Everything about it. The music, right? Everything was just so good. And here are 3 reasons why it was so great. Number 1, the first reason season 4 was so great is the acting and characters. Now, Stranger Things has had great characters throughout its entire lifespan, especially for having kid actors star this show. But now that the kids are getting older, and now that they've really had time to really sink into their characters and play these roles for a while, it is top notch now. A perfect example of this is Sadie Sink, who plays Max. She's been a great addition to Stranger Things for a while now. But this season, she kind of takes over. For the most part, she feels like the main character for a lot of the season, and I'm not complaining. She nails it. She is so good, and she makes a lot of the season what it is. And not only her, all these kids that are now grown up, they all kill it. They all do a great job, and it's awesome to see. And not only that, but now that we get this, like, this is not just great for us because we get to watch it and enjoy what they're doing, but this is just going to springboard them even more, as they've been, like I said, they've been phenomenal throughout the whole show. And I'm super excited for season 5, mainly because of that. Just the way they've been able to deliver and grow into their roles and really bring these characters to life the way they have. It's just awesome to see, and it's amazing. And another thing that's really noteworthy to bring up is this show, they just nail it when it comes to bringing in new characters. As Eddie has been great. I've loved his character, and I really wasn't that sure about it at first, but he's been great, and this is consistent throughout. Max was brought in later. She's been great. Billy, I thought, did exactly what he needed to do, and it was awesome. And it's really cool to see him kind of brought back a little bit throughout the season. A lot of mentions, and we've even seen a little cameo. So it's really cool, and they just nail character stuff. They understand the characters. They all go well together. It's all fluid, and now the acting is just, it's awesome to see, and it's a huge reason why this season has been such a success. So number 2 might sound funny, but it's the runtime. This season is long. All these episodes are well over an hour long, and the finale's 2.5 hours. That's a whole movie. But this really helps the show. While a lot of people don't like when things are crazy long.
That's what she said.
Michael, please. Please.
Let me rephrase that. Sometimes people don't like their shows and stuff to have a crazy runtime because it just seems like things are being drawn out, or just a lot of time is being wasted, or a lot of it's just filler. But Stranger Things, it's not like that at all, as it seems very planned and very articulated in a way that it makes sense, and it needs this runtime in order to get the story across. And it's just done super well. As the writers of the show have done such a good job of building the story, as, I mean, take Vecna as an example, which we're going to talk about him more in a little bit. Spoiler, that's reason number 3. But we see him throughout the whole show, and I'm sure they didn't have this plan throughout, but it's written in such a way where it's super believable that Vecna was always there, and he was very planned to always be there from the beginning in season 1. It's great. It makes perfect sense, as I really don't think they had this whole story written and planned out from season 1 all the way to season 4. But they've done such a great job of setting up, structuring things to where it makes perfect sense. And the runtime helps this, as I mean, volume 2 of season 4 was only like technically 2 episodes, but really it was like 3 or 4 episodes when you break it down. As like I said, the last episode of season 4 is a whole movie, for goodness sake. I am a little bit biased because I'm a guy who found out that when Avengers Endgame was going to be 3 hours long, I was super excited and really nerding out about it and like, yes, I can't wait. And now we're getting 2-hour movies from Marvel, so that's fun. But the runtime, like I said, it works out perfect for Stranger Things, and it really benefited the show. It helped it out tremendously. And last but not least, we have Vecna himself, and he was such a great villain. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know this, but all of that was practical makeup and stuff that was put on. It wasn't CGI, which is also just a really cool little fun fact. But throughout the whole season, he is just great. He is scary. He has a presence. He has a purpose, really. I mean, even though it's kind of not like a clear cut, like, oh yeah, I can see exactly why he's doing this. It's not like a Thanos deal, but he has his purpose. It's just a really cool villain. And I think when we look back at this show, when it's all said and done, after season 5, as I'm pretty sure season 5 will be the complete end of Stranger Things, I think we're gonna look back at Vecna as one of the more iconic villains that we've ever seen on screen. This may be a hot take, maybe not, maybe it's recency bias, I don't know. But he is such a great villain. Like I said, he just has that presence, he has that scary factor to him, right? You could tell, I mean, the actors all did a great job, because whenever he was on screen and face to face with one of the kids, you could tell they really played off a genuine fear when they saw him face to face. And I mean, his voice, his look, his origin story, it was all great, especially his origin story. Even though I started to see it throughout, you could really see it slowly, how, okay, he's the guy. But just the way it progressed and how Elle had a factor in this becoming a thing, and how Vecna was created, all this stuff, how it all plays in together, which we mentioned that a little bit earlier. Just everything plays together so well. And that's the biggest thing on why the whole season is so good. It all plays together and intertwines so well. Even the Russia stuff, which I didn't even think made any sense at first. By volume 2, it made a lot of sense. Vecna is such a great villain. I'm telling you, he is just so good and menacing. Maybe that's the best word for it. He's menacing, he has a presence, which I've said that like 50 times now. It's just so true. And I really do think that he is going to be looked back at as one of the better villains, especially if they can end off season 5 in a similar way to season 4, as he is just great. So there you have it. Those are the 3 reasons why season 4 of Stranger Things was so good, and why Stranger Things very well might be in the top echelon and may be an all-time great show.